this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, Sasuke decides that he doesn't have enough power, so he decides that he's going to leave Konoha Village to train with Orochimaru. Does that sound familiar? That's because this is basically a carbon copy of the actual manga storyline with some minor differences. The biggest one being that this takes place after the time skip, a lot of characters are still alive, and that's pretty much it. But honestly, out of all of the filler episodes that I've seen from the Jiraiya's Ninja Scroll arc, that's what they're calling it, I would honestly say this is probably the most entertaining one, and that's probably because it did have the most action, and we got to see some of our characters actually fighting against some badass Anbu ninja, in a scene that was surprisingly atmospheric. That being said, not that much really happened in this episode, and it's pretty much doing exactly what they did in that arc where Sasuke left the village. He casually walks out, knocks out a couple of ninja guards, has a small confrontation with Kakashi, which I honestly think is a little bit of bullshit. I honestly don't believe that Kakashi, as experienced as he was, would actually be taken out by Sasuke so quickly. And it wasn't even that he was hit by a physical ability, he was actually hit by a genjutsu, which actually made Kakashi look like he was on fire. So he literally looked like he was just caught on fire, blazing up, and just instantly crumbled to the ground. I just don't see that happening to Kakashi. Maybe he should have used his Sharingan Eye. I'm not really sure. All I know is Sasuke has decided to leave the village, go to Orochimaru, and Danzo has actually hired his Anbu group, his elite members, to actually look over Sasuke so that he can safely make it to Orochimaru's. But they're going to run into some trouble, because of course all of Sasuke's friends, Naruto, and everybody who's a main character in the series has decided that they're going to go after him. But there is going to be a select group that's going to be going. Of course, you're going to have Rock Lee, Neji, Tenten, Naruto, and Shikamaru, which is honestly a pretty cool group. It was originally just going to be Shikamaru and Naruto, but as they were getting attacked, like the White Knight that he is, Rock Lee decided to show up, and honestly the best part of the episode, which was that final action scene at the very end. The reason I liked it so much was because simply the atmosphere. They're in the middle of the forest, everything is completely pitch black and dark, and then suddenly you see the shot of the clouds, which is moving away from the moon, and you get to see all of the moonlight just peering through the trees, and suddenly they realize who they're going up against, and they also realize that something's not quite right here. Obviously, the Anbu are not just trying to capture them, they're trying to straight up kill them in this episode, literally going for some vital parts. You know, Naruto is literally almost stabbed for over 5 minutes in this episode by this one mysterious member of the group, who, if you watch the preview for the next episode, completely gives that away. So, spoiler warning right here. It looks like that Anbu is actually going to be the character of Anko, which is very interesting because I never remembered her being a member of the Anbu group, although since this is in a book that's being told in the Infinite Tsukuyomi world, they can do this. They can change these facts around. And like I said, the preview just instantly gives that away. You get to see the mask removed, as well as the curse mark on her neck. Honestly, this is actually a really nice connection, because Danzo, Orochimaru, Anko has always had like a connection to Orochimaru, so that does make sense. So at the end of the day, this is an okay episode. It's basically just a retelling of events with some minor differences. My problem with the episode lies with Sasuke himself. I really don't like the fact that even after having his clan still alive, being with his brother, all of his friends are there, he's still decided that he is not strong enough to go up against Naruto, and has thus made the decision to go and train with Orochimaru. It basically turns Sasuke into one of the most one-dimensional characters I have ever seen, and Sasuke is nothing like that. He might appear that way on the surface, but there's a lot more going on in Sasuke's head and his inner turmoil, and it makes no sense that he would actually do this. Again, this is a book which has been written by Jiraiya, which is going on in Tsunade's Infinite Tsukuyomi world, so you have to take everything with a big grain of salt. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? Not a completely awful episode, which actually kind of surprised me. Some of the action and fighting choreography at the end, as short-lived as it was actually pretty decent. There were a few moments where it was choppy, but there was a surprising amount of impact behind some of these attacks, especially with Rock Lee. It was really great to see him make his big heroic entrance. He's always a really fun character to watch. The first half of the episode, though, is just painfully slow. It takes about a good 13-14 minutes before you even get to any sort of action in this episode, and everything in the beginning is just everybody reacting to Sasuke leaving the village, deciding that they're going to go and try and save him. I would have liked if some of the other Konoha ninja actually decided to join them on their journey. It would have made sense if all of them went. I was actually sort of looking forward to seeing Kiba and Akamaru go on their journey, because he's actually who provided them with their secret exit out of the village, which is literally just tunneling under the giant gate, thanks of course to Akamaru. It was kind of funny too that the reason that this secret entrance actually exists is simply because, according to Kiba, both him and Akamaru like to go on moonlight picnics. Which, I don't know what's up with that, it's just random and strange. Just like the rest of this Infinite Tsukiyomi arc. So, this one is actually pretty decent, but again, it's another one of those episodes that if you skip, you're not really going to miss anything. In fact, you can skip all of this Infinite Tsukiyomi stuff because it'll have no bearing on the final story at all. This is all what-if scenarios, but if you want to see those scenarios and to kill a little more time before we get to the actual storyline in this brand new arc, which is going to be all about Itachi, then just watch it. It's okay at best. But honestly, it's not reinventing the wheel, and it's really nothing all that special. So, hardcore Naruto fans, check out this episode. Everyone else, stay away. I'm going to give this week's episode a 3 out of 5. Just an average episode of Naruto with some decent fighting choreography and some okay atmosphere. I'm really ready for this stuff to wrap up. I'm ready to get into the next arc of the series. You guys have no idea, because we have had to wait like 2.5 weeks just to get another episode of Naruto Shippuden, and it's real disappointing that it has to be a filler episode. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It is only a matter of time before we get to the actual end of the series. So 3 out of 5 from me, but I want to hear from you guys. Did you watch this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden? Are you continuing to suffer through these fillers? Do you actually like this storyline? Was there something about this week's episode that you liked? Please tell me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!